Hey guys, good morning. All right, so we are going to complete the intersectionality notes today. You want to add this into the second page of your Cornell notes. I will push the assignment all the way to the top. Also, I am asking that I understand that a lot of you guys have different types of schedules and some things can be unpredictable. So I'm going to give you guys a 1 week grace period for late work. I'm not going to grade anything until the end of the week. And if I do grade something, I'll revisit it again at the end of the week. But yeah, make sure you get those in by the end of the week. I know it's very stressful right now, but this is a sample of real life where a lot of folks are on their computers working. And now you see that, you can see that those are the jobs that are surviving right now, is jobs that could become virtual as well. So um, this is not going to, hopefully this never happens again. But when you get older, there may be something that comes up like this where a lot of your stuff is online. Some of you guys are going to have most of your jobs online. So this is a good learning opportunity for you. Besides that, I'm here for you. So I've already got some messages of late work and whatnot. Just don't be afraid to reach out. Um, don't be afraid to reach out. Really, that's really much all I got to say because you guys are coming from such different places. I, as a teacher, can't know everything that's going on in your personal life, and so just reach out to me. If something's late, just let me know. The most important thing is to communicate with me. So, and for me to communicate with you guys, let me know how I can help and what I can do better, and we're gonna get through this. You know, we're really gonna get through this, and none of you guys are gonna fail. So don't let your actions be driven by your fear of failure. Just turn in the work, communicate with your teachers, and we're gonna be okay. All right, cool. So I'm gonna jump right into our lecture on resisting the matrix. So let's go ahead and turn to or find the assignment in our Google Class. You can just pause this video if you need to look for it. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. So I think this is better. Cool. So resisting the matrix. These are two quotes that were stated in the reading that I thought really stood out. The first one was Audre Lorde's. We saw her again, or if you remember, I brought her up in a warm up about dismantling this master's house, and she has a lot of theories on oppression, the oppressed versus the oppressor. And in here she reads, the true focus of revolutionary change is never merely the oppressive situations which we seek to escape, but the peace of the oppressor which is planted deep within us. And then take a few moments to write notes on that. What do you think this quote means? What do you think it's saying to you? So again, the true focus of revolutionary change is never merely the oppressive situation which we seek to escape, but at the peace of the oppressor which is planted deep within each of us. So in that quote, it's basically saying that what oppresses us is not always the situation, but it is our mindset, right? And the oppressor, their theory of dominion is that we are under their control and subordinate, inferior, a victim. And so even in the case like coronavirus, how we can apply this quote is that, okay, so there's this oppressive situation. There's a market system that does not value human beings. That's oppressive, right? During this time, and is laying off a bunch of workers and families that need that paycheck. And the way that we become a piece of the oppressor is that we abide and we go with that system and tell ourselves that we're not going to make it because the system isn't giving us money, right? A more liberatory or liberation theory would be we have enough resources to survive with ourselves. So it's a new mind frame. Tony Cade Bambara also adds on to that thought by saying revolution begins with the self in the self, right? So once again, that revolution starts with me, how I think, how I behave, and so on and so forth. So how does Patricia Hill Collins define domination? She defines it through seduction, pressure, and force. So the way that she talks about it, it is not positive, right? When she's talking about domination, it's not positive. Why? Because domination is taking power over somebody completely, right? Not authority. She didn't use the word authority or power. She uses the word domination. Bantu Stephen Biko is a South African revolutionary, and he states, the most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So how do we escape this system of domination? Patricia Hill Collins states that, again, it's the mindset. The thoughts and actions can uphold someone else's power. White feminists do this by pointing out their oppressions as a woman, but not their privilege as being white. So it's about the full mindset. You can't just pick and choose what you think about, but you have to think about all the history of this world and who we are in relation to that. You can just pause the video if I'm going too fast. So what does the matrix do for us? It's in a quote unquote inclusive model. That's the word and term that she uses. She states that we are a part of a multiple dominant group and a member of a multiple subordinate group. So on one end, we may have a dominant group, and on one end, we may be a part of a subordinate group. So for example, like myself as a woman and an Asian American, I and someone who grew up in the middle class, like I have different privilege points. My privilege comes from the social class background that I grew up. And then a subordinate group that I can identify with is a woman. Another subordinate group I can identify is with being a woman of color. So there's multiple identities that you can find that you place yourself in a dominant group, and multiple identities you can find that you place in a subordinate group. So again, that's the matrix of domination. That's what it is, right? It's a theory that states, okay, all because I have different identity markers that create my story. And within that identity, I've been oppressed in different ways, but I've also had privilege in different ways. So it becomes systemic versus interpersonal. It's like there were systems that oppressed me in different ways, or there were systems that gave me privilege in different ways. So remember, that goes back to the levels of power, right? How many levels of power were there? 3. Personal, institutional, and systemic. So where do we go from here? Patricia Hill Collins states that we have to reject the knowledge that dehumanizes and objectifies anything that states that this person is less than. And then she states for Black women, but we all know that this theory goes for everybody. So I put and others become empowered when they see new systems and dimensions to be fully human. So for example, Afrocentrism or the undocumented movement, right? These are our March for Our Lives or Black Lives Matter. These are all new ways of empowering humans to be humans. C. Wright Mills calls this sociological imagination. That's when individuals see their history in relation to their biography. So their life story. So history is a part of our life story, and we reimagine the future based on that. So we have to know the things in the past to truly understand ourselves. So that concludes for that actually concludes our reading for Patricia Hill Collins. I do want to have a fishbowl on this, so I'm going to ask you guys to download Zoom. If you don't know what that is, it's on you either if you have Droid or an iPhone, or you can do it on your computer. So we'll set that up and do a fishbowl on this next week. So be prepared. If you want to already download Zoom, you can. And all right, see you next time.